Hello everyone, today we're getting together for a full training session on dating apps. So stay focused guys, we're starting right now. So first, you need to know the basics of this traffic acquisition method. So you've got the instance. The instance is going to be a group you create of different dating apps. And an instance equals a device setting, equals a proxy IP address, equals a particular geolocation. So an instance will group together different applications. You can't have Tinder twice on the same instance. Next, you have the account setup. We'll take a look at how to create a legitimate account that won't be shadowed directly. Then there's the warm up and swipe. This is how you're going to promote your Insta account in a way that won't get you banned or shadow banned. And how many swipes to do on specific days during the warm up. Then there's automation. Automation means delegating all these tasks so that you can recreate an instance or refocus on other things that will really add value to your agency. And then you'll repeat all this to create an endless loop of instances and have a dating app farm at your disposal for maximum traffic, because what we want is volume. So in terms of the emulator instance, in terms of tools, you'll need a PC. You're going to install LD Player, which is an excellent emulator offering a number of options and functions not available in other emulators. When you launch LD Player, you'll be able to access LD Multiplayer. You'll need to install the SockDroid APK. APK is linked to the dating apps you want and a rotating proxy with an excellent trust score. In terms of process, you're going to launch an instance on LD Multiplayer. You'll then install the dating app you want and SockDroid as an APK directly on Google Chrome, which you'll find on the emulator. You'll need to reset your IP address on Chrome. Then on Chrome, LD Player, be careful on the emulator, not on your computer. To do this, you need to insert your proxy's HTTP reset link in the link bar. It's a link that provides you directly. You'll find it very easily on your proxy service provider's dashboard. Next, you'll need to enter the proxy details into SockDroid to activate the proxy within that emulator. Then you'll need to launch the virtual GPS directly on LD Player. I've put the image here, so it's on the side of LD Player. You have several functions, including the virtual GPS, which you can configure. So make sure you have the same latitude and longitude between the proxy's IP address and the virtual GPS you want to set. So you really do need to be at or near the same location. Then you can launch the application in the account to set up the account and start using it. Emulator instances are generally a colossal job. In other words, you're constantly having to create accounts that are going to crash. There are a lot of bans during this method. Frankly, the worst dating app method you can find is the emulator. It works very poorly. There are a lot of negative points about the emulator. But if at least you want to start making a little traffic to begin with, you can obviously use this method. Next, you have the Antibrowser instance. So under Antibrowser, you're going to need a PC and an anti-browser like AdsPower or GoLogin. It's up to you. And a quality rotating proxy server, obviously in the same geographical zone, i.e. rotating around. For example, if I choose the city of Paris, rotate around Paris. In terms of process, you'll need to connect a proxy directly to your instance. Now, anti-browsers are really designed for proxies, so you'll have no trouble installing it on them. Everything's been done for it. The cool thing is that you don't need to reset Google. Everything is done automatically on your anti-browser instance. Once you've got the proxy set up on your anti-browser, you can go straight to the dating app site you want, start setting up the account, warm up and swipe away. That's all there is to it. And now let's take a look at the jailbreak instance. So likewise, a little backtracking. The anti-browser instance is pretty tedious too. We're on a trust score compared with the dating app, which is very low. A little higher than the emulator, but still it's very limited. So it's a job that's going to have to be very repetitive with questionable results. You'll still get a few subscribers, etc. But frankly, considering all the work you're going to put into account creation, warm up, swiping, etc., the traffic isn't commensurate with all the work you're going to put in. So that's one method. When you're starting from scratch, why not use it? but honestly, in the long run, it's very tedious, even for an RV. And now we're going to look together at the jailbreak method, the jailbreak instance, which for me is actually the best type of instance you can make. The best dating app method you can make is this one. So you're going to need a Windows PC, an iPhone X or X, just one iPhone, mind you, just one iPhone for lots of accounts. We'll see why later. You'll also need a jailbreak file that will actually launch the jailbreak on your iPhone, making sure it's jailbroken. A rotating proxy around a city with an excellent trust core, so you're going to have to do some testing on different proxies, etc. to see which one is the best, and test it with an IP checker and 3 utools, which will be directly on your Windows PC and which will allow you to fully configure your iPhone X, but also to use your iPhone X from your PC. So what's cool about this method is that you'll be able to use your iPhone from your PC and delegate it more easily. So how does it work? You'll need to connect the iPhone to your Windows PC, then follow the instructions given in the jailbreak file. This is a file we provide with step-by-step instructions on how to install the file correctly. Once the file is launched, you'll need to set up the iCloud on the iPhone. Oh yes, by the way, the jailbreak installation takes an average of 5 to 10 minutes. And the phone will shut down and then turn back on. Once it's turned back on, that's when it'll be jailbroken. Then you're going to have to put the iCloud inside that phone. Obviously the phone is reset. So you set up the iCloud at that point, install all the dating apps you want, Tinder, Badoo, Fruits, Bumble, in short, anything you want in terms of dating apps, which you then use. Next, you're going to disconnect from the iCloud. Then you're going to install Cilio's cracked Apple Store, which will actually let you download all the dating apps you need for the instances. Then, thanks to this Apple Store, you'll be able to install all the DAs that have already been installed upstream, but in fact on your basic iPhone instance. Thanks to this, you'll be able to duplicate applications ad infinitum with other instances. And here's an image of what it looks like. So you see, there are just about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more instances than the default. In fact, there are others below them. So you can unroll, etc. You can make infinite instances with an iPhone. So in effect, it's as if you had, say, 50 iPhones in the same iPhone, which is clearly a colossal money saver for your agency. Once you've downloaded all the necessary delays per instance, you'll need to install a third-party application to connect the proxy to the instance in question. This too is an app that we supply directly to you. This application allows you to connect your rotating proxy directly to each instance. Then you activate the phone's VPN mode, and once you've installed all that, once you've activated all that, you're going to use Troyo tools to modify the geolocation. So how do you go about modifying the geolocation? The latitude and longitude must correlate with the latitude and longitude you have in IPinfo. When you connected your proxy to your phone, once you've got the proxy set up correctly in your phone, you go to ipinfo.io, retrieve the latitude and longitude you have here on ip.io and copy it directly to Troyo Tools here and here. Obviously the phone is plugged in. Next you'll modify the virtual location and check on your phone to see if it's been modified. If it hasn't, you can then manually modify it using the little target. With the little target, you can place yourself wherever you like, and the longitude and latitude will be displayed at the same time. This allows you to fine-tune your settings. Normally though, you don't need it. When it comes to jailbreak automation, you'll need a VA that connects directly to your PC. That's why I recommend, if you don't necessarily trust your VA, to have a secondary Windows laptop. A small Windows laptop costs 2 of 100, 3 of 100. Frankly, for this type of acquisition method, it's nothing at all. You're going to have a VA, train him, etc., and try to train him too, if possible, on account creation, on instance creation, etc., so that he can really be autonomous from A to Z in relation to the pyramid of fundamentals I showed you beforehand. it's very important that your VA can master all the steps of the dating app jailbreak method so that you can focus completely on other things. Obviously, we have an in-house application that allows the VA to control your PC. We also provide you with this application, so don't worry. When it comes to creating a DA account, you'll need to create one using a telephone number. You can use virtual phone numbers if you like, but they're very expensive. What I recommend is that you go directly to SMSman, a site that allows you to obtain phone number activation codes. Don't hesitate to spam SMSman because the first try isn't conclusive. So if the first try isn't conclusive, you've got to keep going, Then there are lots and lots of other service providers for telephone codes. I'll leave that to you. We have one in-house that works very well. So compared to Bumble, you can also connect a Facebook account. This allows you to add trust. If you can do it on other applications, all the better. In any case, on Bumble, it seems that this adds a lot of trust to the account and that the account is less likely to be shadow banned or even banned. So, very interesting to know. Take your time creating your account. So, when I say take your time to create your account, I mean choose your features carefully, choose your photo carefully, and use as many features as possible. In short, you really need to come across as a Lambda user, especially a Lambda female user, i.e. dating app users take longer to choose their hobbies, take longer to choose their passions, and so on. And finally, creating an account in a human way should take at least 5 minutes. It may sound long, but yes, 5 minutes minimum, and I mean minimum. If you can make it longer, that's cool. It adds to the trust. Oh yeah, one thing too, you need unique photos for each instance. This is really important. So you can't put the same photos twice for 2 Tinder accounts, for example. It'll blow up. Or you can reset the metadata of the photos so that you can use them over and over again. Likewise, this kind of method is rather complex to maneuver. We know how to do it in-house. What's more, we have the application to do it. So it's a method that works like a charm, and it saves an enormous amount of time for your designer, who actually spends less time taking photos of herself for dating apps. Because when you're doing a lot of dating apps, you need a lot of photos. For Tinder and Mumble, you'll need an Insta slave for 1 instance. For Badoo, you'll need 1 Insta slave for 8 instances. In terms of warm-up and swiping for jailbreak, on Tinder, Bumble and Badoo, the first day no bio is used. Day 2, bio without instas. Day 3, organic with instas. Days 4 and 7, 40 to 60 swipes. Days 8 to 9, 70 to 80 swipes. And day 10, we're at 100 swipes maximum. We never exceed 100 swipes a day. Otherwise, the account burns up. In terms of the swipe quota, 50-50 in terms of likes and dislikes. If you're really a guy who liked danger and wasn't afraid of getting banned, you can do 40-60. So 60 likes, 40% dislikes. I'd recommend 50-50. This allows you to get a lot of volume while looking like a normal user. This is the jailbreak method. Honestly, compared to the account Warmup, this method is ultra fast. On the 3rd day, you put on an Instagram. In other words, after 48 hours, you'll have an Instagram right on your desktop. This will enable you, in fact, to get traffic. In other words, after 48 hours, you get traffic thanks to this method, which is quite fast compared to Tinder and Bumble, which again, I repeat, are applications with lots and lots and lots of volume. So Tinder and Bumble, especially Tinder, are the Rolls-Royce of DA. And it's very complex to have effective long-term accounts on this type of DA. And especially with such a fast warm-up, that's why I say that 48 hours to get traffic with Tinder and Bumble on the DA method is still exceptional. With the jailbreak method, you can install all the applications you want. You're not limited, because we'll see on the other instance methods, whether Antibrowser or Emulator, there are certain applications you can't use. On jailbreak, you can use any application you like. You're not limited by that. In terms of warm-up and swiping for Antibrowser, we have, compared with Tinder, on the 1st day, no bio. On the 7th day, organic without Insta. Between the 2 days, we warm up the jerk so nothing happens. Day 10, organic with Insta. Day 15, we'll start swiping with 40-60 swipes maximum. Days 16 and 17, we do 70 to 80. And then, on the 18th, we'll do no swipe max. Obviously, there's a good chance you'll be banned in the meantime. These aren't solid accounts that are going to last, but if you want to last as long as possible, make sure you respect these rules. As for Badu, day 1, no bio. Day 3, organic without Insta. Day 7, organic with Insta. Day 8, 40 to 60 swipes. Day 9 to 10, 70 to 80 swipes. Day 11, no swipes maximum. This is the same as Tinder. The account may be blown up. Less chance than Tinder, of course, but there's also a good chance because you're now on browser. So, it's obvious that you're not a normal user and that you're a rare user, so it's a bit cramped. In terms of swipes, we're at 50-50, and that's it. So, you see the emulator, you've got Happen, it's available. All the other applications are far too complicated to set up, if not impossible. So, on Happen, in relation to the warm-up and swipe quota, the first day, no bio. Day 3, bio with Insta. 4th to 7th day, 40 swipes to 60 swipes. Day 8 to 9, 70 to 80 swipes. Day 10, no swipes maximum. Here it's all the same. You roll in one, it can jump. It's not necessarily ultra quali to be on the emulator. So let's take a look at how to avoid being banned. First of all, don't send the first message. This is really important because no user does this. No user is going to send the first message to the guy. Guys usually do. You have to respond to at least 10% of the messages. That's it. Because if you don't reply to any messages, unless you want to make a suicide account, if you want an account that's there for the long term and Skype quickly, it's better to reply to 10% of messages. Obviously, when automating this, you can tell the RV to do it. He'll take care of it. Don't mention OnlyFans, special page, Insta, or I wrote Insty, but okay, it's Insta and other porn words. So that's the same too. These are crazy red flags that will be detected within your account, and your account will jump, get shadow banned or banned. Open the application throughout the day. Don't go for one big swipe session at a time. Do it a little bit regularly, a little bit all the time. That's it. Open the application from time to time, etc. Open it from your phone's notification. This too is pretty good on the jailbreak method. That's one of the reasons why this is by far the best method. Because you now have the option of opening your application from the notifications, which is a game changer, because then you really look like a normal user. The Instagram you're going to set up doesn't have to be anything special. So no drawing, no digits, no numbers. In short, really try to make sure that it's all letters so that it's actually detected as a word and not as something weird. Because if they ever see that on your bio, there's something with 2, 3, 4 drawn, whatever, they'll say, okay, it's burnt, it's an Insta, it's gone. In terms of search distances, aim for 10 to 15 kilometers maximum within your perimeter. If you have a larger perimeter, you're screwed. No user is going to search for other users 50 kilometers away. There's no such thing. Generally speaking, the average is 10 to 15 kilometers maximum. If you can do less, that's cool. It allows you to add trust to your account. In terms of age range, 10 years maximum. Don't go looking for a guy between 18 and 56. No one does that. If you ever want to fast, you do between 10, 8 and 28. And even better, the lower the age range, the less burnt out it is too. If you can do a 5-year age range, that's cool. That's very cool too. But 10 years maximum. Avoid certain traps. Some traps you'll fall into without necessarily paying too much attention. For example, some people will constantly like people who have super swiped them, but constantly. That's burnt out too, because it actually detects that what you want is matches with anyone, but what a real user wants on Tinder is to meet good people. So she's going to filter, and she's not necessarily going to like a guy who super swipes her. Avoid constantly liking guys who are going to super swipe her. I know it's tempting, but don't do it. Avoid subscribing to dating apps too quickly. This too, no user, especially female user, does this. It's usually the users who do it. Don't use every available swipe. This too is a bit burnt out. Users aren't necessarily going to use all available swipes, so make sure you have a few left in reserve so you don't look like a completely average user. And I'll say it again, when you create your account, make sure you take your time. That's it. And normally with all that, you're not supposed to get banned. Or at least you're less likely to get banned. Let me make a small aside here. I know that a lot of people are going to say to me, holy shit, the guy doesn't say which file to download in relation to the jailbreak. The guy's being a little vague about the jailbreak, etc. Actually, if I'm being a little vague with you guys, it's just that if I throw out the whole method for free from AZ and whatnot, it's going to oversaturate this acquisition method and it won't work in the long term. Right now, I want to help you as much as I can. But I don't want to screw up the business either. You see what I mean? So I've set up a coaching and training service as well as a service that will enable you to install the jailbreak directly at home and use this method to scale much more quickly. So really it's a method that has proved its worth within my agency and within other agencies that we're currently following up with this coaching. So I called this coaching Jailbreak Army. I thought it sounded good. It's like the guys from the Losses. It's a bit like a battalion, you know. I thought it was cool. Anyway, small aside. Anyway, here you go. If you want to get scaling fast, it's going to take some investment, but it's an investment that will pay off in less than a month. That's for sure. After that, you'll be able to scale automatically and focus on other types of traffic acquisition that require a lot of time and a lot of knowledge, you see. The cool thing about this method is that, as I said before, all you need is an iPhone set and a Windows PC. And then, let's go, you can make as many accounts as you like. And above all, quality accounts with an insane trust score. A trust score 4 times higher than any emulator or anti-browser. What's more, with us, you get a tool that lets you remove metadata from photos. A tool that actually works, not something you found on Google. A tool that actually works, that we've tested and that updates regularly. So you have access to that with us. You'll also have access to a step-by-step installation guide so you don't screw up and your jailbreak doesn't work, because that's another area where you need to be careful. A lot of people have the jailbreak method, but they don't know how to use it. They do anything and it doesn't work, and then they say, no, it doesn't work. But in fact, if it does work, you just have to do it right. And to do that, you need support. That's the way it is. In-house, we also have VAs who are already trained. These VAs will enable you to scale much more quickly than if you didn't have them. So these are VAs that we can also vouch for and that you can trust to use your device. You'll have all the techniques, all the tips, everything we know. And in fact, it's really going to allow you to have accounts, but that are going to last over time, but in a colossal way. So instead of having an account that will last 48 hours with 10 days of warm-up, you're actually going to have an account that will last a month and a half with 48 hours of warm-up. Can you see the delirium or not? It's not madness, guys, knowing that afterwards you can scale and have infinite instances with the phone. Obviously, each instance will require a bit of work, but in my opinion, it's the best traffic acquisition method you'll find in OFM today, and we provide it. So listen, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me directly on Telegram or ask questions in the Telegram group. That's it, guys. I'll leave you to it. See you soon for another training session. Good luck and good scaling.